That's my YouTube t-shirt. Crazy week this week. Crazy week this week. Haven't even had time for a haircut. What does that tell you? That I'm either a hobo or I'm living under a bridge. That's the same thing. It really tells you nothing about my week. That's what it tells you. And if any of you really want to know more about my week, you're going to have to leave something in the comments because this show is not about me. Okay, it's a little about me. It's mostly about the things that I find interesting. Let's move on to the important points. Years ago, my father was talking about probably automotive repair. He said you can get it fast, good, or cheap. Pick any two. Just two. I'm pretty sure he didn't make it up. If that doesn't make implicit sense to you, maybe we need to do another show on that. Everyone's familiar with the Disney catchphrase made popular by Thumper? Pretty sure it was Thumper. If you can't say nothing nice, don't say nothing at all. I think it actually was Thumper's mother that probably said it. I have a problem with that. There are all kinds of times when you need to say something and it might not be nice. Let me get to that in just a second. Years ago, a family member came to me and expounded on that concept, saying that it wasn't appropriate to say anything unless it was kind, true, and necessary. I disagree with that. Not because I'm not into being kind, but because I think different situations call for different things. I think it's exactly like the old tradesman's phrase, good, fast, and cheap. In terms of kind, true, and necessary, you can pick any two. If you really have to have all three of those components to say anything, we would be a very quiet society. Let's look first at kind and true. Kind and true to me sounds like a compliment. And that's a good thing, because I think our society, especially the way things are going now, needs more of that. The problem is, are most compliments necessary? No, they're usually not. I mean, if I look at someone's outfit and say, that's a really nice outfit, well, that's a compliment, but was it really necessary? Probably not. I agree with kind and true because it's complimentary, but if you add in necessary, it's going to be really infrequent. That's why I say two is good enough. Next up, true and necessary. This is like when someone's about to touch a hot stove, or about to walk out in front of traffic, or about to do something that's, injurious or a terrible idea. Hey, stupid, get out of the way of that oncoming car. I guess you don't have to put stupid in, but you still probably aren't going to say it in the kindest way. The urgency of the message kind of outweighs the need to be kind when it is really necessary. And I mean really, really necessary. I would rather have someone yell at me to get out of the way of the oncoming car / train / airplane, whatever's about to run into me, rather than saying it in the nice way or the tactful way. Just say it. I don't really care if it's nice. I just want to get out of the way. I think you probably do too. Lastly, you have kind and necessary. Now this one's a little sticky because it sounds like advocating telling white lies. That's not really what I'm going for. If you have a friend that's standing on the cliff's edge about ready to jump, that is not the time to tell them the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth like you would in a court of law. No, their life really may be a giant train wreck, and most of it may have been from their own doing. But you don't say that at that point. I'm not saying lie to them. I'm just saying maybe not say everything that's true, just say something that's kind and necessary. Because if the whole truth comes out right then, it may not be helpful. So just like with good, fast, and cheap, my recommendation for kind, true, and necessary would be pick any two. Try to focus on the kind and true more often than the other two. Like I said before, I think the world needs a little more of that. And that includes comments about my hair and my YouTube t-shirt. Recently, a friend of mine actually blackmailed me to make a show. Some of my DMV paperwork went to his house, and he said he'd only mail it to me if I made a show. So I made a show. Thanks again to all the viewers and Patreon supporters. I'd like to ask you a favor this week, and next week, and the week after that. Really, it's a kind of a needy favor, but I need you to do it pretty much every week. I want to produce a show a week, at least for the time being, and I'm having trouble being motivated. But if I know that there are several hundred / thousand of you that will just bombard my inbox if there isn't something new on YouTube by Thursday morning at the very latest, then I'm going to be motivated. And I'd like to be motivated. So help me, help you, help me to make more of the show by bombarding my inbox on Thursday mornings if there isn't a new one. That's really all you need to do. I mean, if you're going to do it, just make sure it's kind and true. It's definitely necessary already. Okay, I guess it doesn't have to be kind and true, just true and necessary or kind and necessary. Whatever you think is best. Suppose I could just give you all blackmail material. Kind, necessary, true, and blackmail?